Okay, I need to talk to you guys about something. And warning, I'm going to let you guys turn this off right now because it is controversial. But this video is going to be sent to the precious Pope Francis or Pope, I don't know, Quack. Anyway, and no, that's not a shot against anybody that's Catholic. That's your choice, or that's the way you were brought up, so that's fine. But I've been thinking a lot about human behavior, and I don't have the best way to put it down all the time, but since this new Pope is so groundbreaking and so new, and he's trying to bring the Catholic Church into a new direction and blah, 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 there's something he might want to consider is the fact that, and again, if you want, turn off this video right now. I'll give you a few seconds. All right. Now, the way I'm looking at this here is, look, the Catholic Church turns around and they say, that priests shouldn't marry. Well, look at the long-term effects of what that did. They used one piece of what Paul wrote in, I believe it was 2 Corinthians, but don't quote me on that. If somebody wants to correct me, feel free to do so. But when Paul was saying, it's better to serve, now I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the scripture right in front of me, but he was basically saying it's better to serve the Lord than to be married and give all of yourself to the Lord. Now, if you can do that, then fine. But look at the long-term effects of what that did. All right? You've got these priests who most of them are men, actually all of them are men, because the Catholic Church doesn't believe that women can be priests. They can be deacons, I believe, but I don't remember what the difference is exactly. But they created a monster by putting this in their doctrine, which is false. They don't follow doctrine, okay? And they used one piece of what Paul wrote to the Corinthians. I do know that they wrote that. I just don't know if it was 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians. But when he said, it's better to be single than to be tempted and blah, blah, blah. Well, he also went down, and basically, again, paraphrasing, and said, if you to read further down, and he said that if you can't do that and can't be completely single, it's better to be married than to burn in the pits of hell, or however he said it there. Again, I'm bad at paraphrasing. It's part of my thing with like being able to remember words exactly, but basically the premise is there. The fact of the matter is, Paul even said, if you can't do it, then get married. And for hundreds of years, probably thousands actually, they didn't get married. And what happened? Especially in the 2000s, you had, well, all I'm going to say is look at the movie Spotlight. And that's unfortunate what happened to all those victims. Don't get me wrong, that's completely unfair what happened to them. But you gotta also look at it in the sense that the Catholic Church created it. Because you got people that are human, and humans were designed for human contact. Okay? And we were designed to be, and I quote, be fruitful and multiply. And yet you're telling these men who are men and human to not be active, and then when you're forced to ignore your human instinct to be interactive with a woman, then your brain starts playing tricks on you, and the dark energy of the world, the devil, if you will, uses that, and you convince yourself that it's okay because you're not getting married, and you're not, disobeying the doctor, and then you get built in this level of shame, and then it gets buried, and then, well, it became evident that the Catholic Church knew about it, and they just tried to bury it. And now, somewhere in the States, I don't know if it's statewide or where it is exactly, but I saw on TV that there's people that want to take away the statute of limitations for certain crimes, and we all know what that is. And oddly enough, this open-minded Pope, or the Catholic Church, somebody in the Catholic Church, I'm going to assume that it's this Pope Francis, turns around and says, well, no, we can't get rid of the statute of limitations and blah, 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 and that's not right. And, well, you know what? You guys created it by telling these grown men that they've got to turn off their human design. And then the devil used that, and it got mutated, and that's highly unfortunate. And it's not fair what the Catholic Church did. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fair what the priests did or allegedly did. Or I am saying allegedly because, not like, I don't know if exactly every case was proven correct, but that's not the point. I'm not justifying what they did, but I'm saying the Catholic Church created it. And when you deny human instinct, your brain gets mutated, and the devil latches onto that, if you want to call it that. And that's highly unfortunate. And we've got this open-minded Pope's got to turn around and got to say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this, because if you look at Corinthians, Paul says to get married rather than to, I'm just going to again paraphrase, rather than sin. The Catholic Church created it. So you know what, Pope Francis or Franny, fix it, bud. You can fix the doctrine. You guys manipulated doctrine for thousands of years. Go ahead and fix it up.